It's wonderful to be here and to meet the people that I'm meeting, hear all these poets, these wonderful poems. I had, the thought came to me in the first few minutes, God, isn't poetry wonderful? So, miniskirts in the wasteland. I was around in Notting Hill at the end of the 60s, early 70s, and the poems in this book are inspired by that experience. So I'm going to start with the title poem, which was shortlisted in the Bridport Prize last year. In a back street dive, a man in a baggy cardie peddles Sal a tin of pills. Heading out, she nicks a pack of rider-weight wicked cards, checks them for propitious signs, speak to me the way all week she checks her knickers. That term they read the wasteland, Eliot's words get her in the gut, them pills I took to bring it off. Opaque as trig, sixth form smiggers outside tit and second base, eavesdropped in the locker rooms between hockey and maths. Sister Bridget's caution, occasion of sin, DJ's jokes on radio, Caroline, white noise like the music listened to in bed when she should have been asleep but was trialing budding pleasure. Next day, like a secret on a ripped-off page, Sally slides a glance across the class to Susie, seen last weekend loitering outside the Palais by the Regal. A bloke can't get no satisfaction, old enough to be her dad, greets Susie with a blasé barter of saliva, steers her through the Palais door. Sally, queuing for the late night screening, girl on a motorcycle, tugs her fringe, pops gum, fidgets, keen to get down Faithful's moves. Sal's beaver skirt, 2 fingers below peril level, baits the blush of lads on Vespers, engines revving, edgy for the crack of the starter's gun. Summer's soundtrack, hurry up, it's time, and television's sizzle, shots of a Buddhist monk ablaze, while Sally in a Surrey orchard contemplates flesh, his and hers, poured by fingers in the fashion of Sassoon, bare skin tempted by a zephyr's careless brush, ripple grass, poppies staining the yellowing stalks like spotting blood. So some of you may have been around, some of the images may be familiar to you. When I read about the war, I remember your gunmetal beetle chuntering down the Via Appia, a cough like my singer treadle, the square of Piazza Navona where we chilled on a crumbling fountain edge, chaperoned by a pissing cherub, guzzled watermelon, pistachio ice, licked sugar trickles off each other's chins, my milk skin curdling in August blaze. I remember stars combusting in a cobalt sky, sand and your gaze burrowing in secret crevices, as we lazed to heartbeat waves, octopus limbed after loving, transported on the magic carpet of your army's sleeping bag. I remember a siege of pewter clouds, russet leaves blitzing rubbish bags outside my Chelsea flat, where I loitered in the hall, chewed split ends, watching for the post, your last note smeary in my pocket, shipping out to Nam tomorrow. I remember the day, an airmail like a moth, blue as your eyes, fluttered to the mat, green, heroic script. Jeff mentioned you. This dude dropped by. Jeff's missing. Jeff's sister, June. St. Jude of the Lost Cause. In the ambulance, I remember how that time before I pretended this is little more than the specks I'd lost one spring, when, dazed as the cat who ate her kit, I haunted the garden, hoped to find them by the yellow irises encircling the pond. In the compost bin, from which I'd spread a comforter of mulch for the baby beetroot swelling in the dark like clotted blood, their bruised leaves having weathered the rude tweaks of sparrows. Almost tea time at the hospital, midwife Mary chirrups, "It's a boy," and you are resting on my belly, your blue gaze unblinking, as though taking stock, searing me to the core. Then, before she snips the lardy cord still linking us, that's when I know St. Jude has come up trumps. As inspired by my son. Right, that's gone. So a couple of poems from a triptych of birds. It's my award-winning debut pamphlet, and it revolves around my Irish background and my relationship primarily with my mother. Padraig, who drove the snakes out of Ireland. At the allotment, Daddy forked the crumbly black earth till the air quaked with anticipation of excess. Me sifting stones in search of treasure. The robin sat, pert, on the lip of the bucket, meant to carry spuds or cabbages, the occasional giggle-tickle carrot back to placate the mammy. The bird's eye bright with a lust for worms, his song a crystal cataract of merry. Though none of the seeds we sowed ever showed head out of the sly earth, and we saw nothing of the slow worm Daddy promised, so that I guessed he must be a saint, his name being Padraig too, especially when he himself vanished. Though he turned up months later at the end of school, again and again and again, till I had to tell the mammy where the books and toys came from. And that got me sent off to board at St. Bridget's convent, where the head nun was nice to you if your mammy gave her fruit cake in a tin, bottles of orange Linctus sherry, a crochet shawl like frothy cobwebs, none of which my mammy could afford, Padraig having vanished more than snakes. This next poem, Wild Lass of Kells, it's kind of loosely inspired by my mother, who was born in Kells. She shuffles on the curb outside O'Shaughnessy's, corner of Kelly and Dunleaven Road. her eyes the colour of Our Lady's veil, scorched bluer by her copper curls. On the lookout for the da, her task of a Friday night to wheedle the wages off of him before he sets out on the lash. Glad of a break from the chores, socks like a flock of crows forever jostling, hand-me-down frocks in need of hems, pants snagged on barbed wire, nails atop of farmers' walls and fences. Herself, the firstborn of a baker's dozen, endless mopping up of spats, snail snots, scabby porridge pots. Licks of laughter, yellow light, sidle out the gaping door into the night, let out by culchies on their shuffle to the bar. Ageds with purple slurs for eyes, glances tossed her way, collection plate clink of small change at Sunday Mass. The odd time, a flash of lust, the most times shame, a rare smile to build her up. Sure, aren't you a dope now, Delia, looking out for your mammy? God bless yourself. Eyes cast down, pious daughter of the Virgin, Lord love the child, in her wilting dress, miraculous blue medal clipped to the chest of her tatty cardigan. An occasion of sin, to be sure, Slovenes might take advantage of, till she glances up. That glare, brazen as hell's fires, from the child of Mary of the scry eye, seventh daughter of a seventh son, flame hex of a wild blood tinker, skipping off home to a last scold of the pot, wedge of soda foul thick with dripping. Her pocket is a clatter of coins, only the lighter by a bleary-eyed pint. I see you, fraying plait, down at heel hem, and though I want to add again, pretend it's commonplace as a slice of toast, this is not the way I saw you ever. A nun swooping at you in the schoolyard, her habit, crow plumes flapping, blade beak pecking petals of your small girl tails to the leaves of an adult log. A life under lock and a key you later turn. You feed to the hunger of the Irish Sea. Waves, your sisters, snatching at the hull of the boat you took to Holyhead. Salt spray and bluster, camouflage for tears. The voyage braved on deck, face back to the isle you will always think of as your home. Horizon blurred, regretted images of falls in mist, of moss, milk from O'Reilly's, freckled with cream. Your face strobes my dreams, ghosts the mirror as I brush my hair, wisps of chance unrealized, the year I never guessed would be your last. When you supped tea from a rosebud cup, your fingers the mould of mine, fretting crumbs to a tidy plug at the side of your plate. Your way of cooling soup, as if foraging in the bowl for some misplaced thought. Thank you for listening.